Hello and thanks for joining me today for my video tutorial and Facebook Live. I have some Christmas cards for you featuring the Cottage Gingham paper. I think I've said that right. Let me look. I know I put it in the title. So yes, no, Gingham Cottage. I just had the words out of order. So it is a double pack of paper, and so I wanted to do something helpful, what I think it is helpful, and that is provide a whole bunch of card ideas for this paper, because when you buy the pack you get a lot of it. So I'm going to feature several different stamp sets. So this is the first one, and this one uses Ringed with Nature. Then I'm going to use the Cottage wreaths. I have a couple of different ones using the Cottage wreaths, and then I couldn't resist to just use that new Fitting Florets suite and just make a nice any reason card. So this one is so cute. I think I'm going to start with this one, and then this one just dressed up a little bit with some sparkle paper. Okay, so I hope that you like these, and I don't know how many I will get through right now, but I'm going to give it a try. I have an appointment at 1:30, so I do have to quit at 1. I don't know if I'll last that long, but if you are joining me live, I would love for you to say hello and let me know that you are here so that we can chat about whatever you want to chat about. Please let me know if you have any questions. I love to answer questions about Stampin' Up products or about being a demonstrator. All right, so this stamp set is called Christmas Season, one of my favorites for Christmas. It doesn't have any greetings, but it does coordinate nicely. The dies coordinate nicely with Christmas to Remember, I believe is the stamp set that it coordinates with. So I'm getting out the 2 large pine cones, and I was thinking maybe I would do the small one, but I think the small one's too small. So I also need the berries, and then I want to do the holly leaves as well. So the colors I'll be using are Garden Green and Early Espresso and Soft Suede, and then the color that coordinates with the paper is Calypso Coral for this one. Now you could use the real red background instead. Lot of different options with that paper. So let's get started stamping. I'm gonna start by stamping get this out of the way so I don't make a mess of it. Not Early Espresso, Soft Suede. I want to start with Soft Suede. And I want 2 of these pine cones. So this is one of our distinctive stamp sets, so it has a lot of really interesting shading going on in the pattern. And then I want to stamp on top of the pine cones with this Early Espresso. I've never stamped that sideways. Not that it matters, but there you go. Oh, I rocked a little bit, but no harm, no foul. All right, I have a little pile of scrap papers over here. So now what I need is the Garden Green. So let me close these up so I don't get brown ink on my projects. Hi, Lori. So my Garden Green is a little bit dried out or something. So I have to dip into the ink. I don't press really hard, just press multiple times. Seems to have the best effect. And now with the Calypso Coral, the berries. So Lori, what are you up to today? Anything fun? Alright, I am gonna clean those up. I need to clean as I go today, otherwise I will have a million stamps on my table. Okay, maybe not a million, but quite a few. So I am going to use the coordinating die set. Let's see, is that enough room? Can you see enough? Let's see. Zoom out just a little bit. Oh, there goes my car. It's being removed from the garage, I believe. Alright, so here are the dies. They're called season label dies, and they are in the annual catalog. And I have an interesting piece of tape on my arm. But I have pulled out my magnet. I don't know what it's called. Magnet something or other. Magnetic plate, that's probably what it's called, magnetic plate. It's no longer available, but I want to use it. It makes my crafting simpler. It may be available by some other maker. Maybe Sizzix makes one, I don't know, but Stampin' Up! Does not sell theirs anymore. Oh, sweet Amelia. Cutie pie Amelia. Alright, so I need to do this one again. Get this stuff out of the way. And I have a second pine cone to cut. Oh, and I forgot that I wanted to add some of those little twiggy things from Ringed with Nature. So let me pull that die set out as well. And grab some, actually I think this will do it. I'm going to use this piece for another card later, but I think I cut all of these out of this little piece and was able to have enough for 2 cards. So I'm just going to label these little twig dies up. See, are there any more? Oh, that's it. I'm going to spread them out a little bit then. There we go. How many November family cards do you have? Is November a busy month for you? And it's good that you're finishing up your November cards before even the first week of November is up. Good job, Lori. Okay, stick those back in there before I lose them. And these dies back in there. This I need for a later card. Where did that other little twig go? I wonder if it's stuck in the die. So now I need to pull the dies back out. There it is. It was stuck in the die. There we go. So this is cut to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I will be stamping from the Christmas to Remember this Merry Christmas across the bottom. So this is a pretty quick and easy card, which is not necessarily my style, but seems to be what I've been doing lately. The most of. Okay, so I have positioned this where I would like it. And now what I'm doing is as I pick it up with the block, I'm lining the block up with the edge of the paper. Now the only thing that I want to do is make sure that the words are actually straight on here, and it doesn't look to me like they are. So I'm going to pull out a grid paper. I love these mini grid papers. They're so handy. And I don't really want to change it so much, but I want to make sure that the words are lined up on one of these lines. So it looks like I have this line, and that looks pretty straight. I thought it was tipped up a little bit on the left, but maybe it isn't. Okay, I'm calling it good. Again, I don't really need to line up my paper so much with the grid because I lined my stamp up with the bottom edge of the paper, but I'll go ahead and line that up anyway because that's generally what I do. I'm trying to, in an effort to keep everything straight. So I'm just eyeballing the bottom edge of the stamp, the block, I mean, with the edge of the paper. Oh, 15 is a lot. No one cares if they're late, right? All right, so this is ready to glue on, and then we're just gonna glue on all those little die cuts and we're done. Pretty quick and easy. Now, I didn't cut this paper. You didn't watch me cut the paper, but that would just be a few moments. And let's see how long that took. So that's 12 minutes so far. So it looks like this might be like a 15-20 minute card. All right, so I'm gonna glue the bottom one down. All these pine cones. I have not used this stamp set enough, I don't think. And then this one I'm going to add with dimensionals, and I need a new package of dimensionals. Isn't it fun to open up new dimensionals? I like it. So my appointment today is a pedicure. I am so overdue. I know that's kind of a gross thing to say, but whew, will I be happy to get that done. Oops, didn't need to close that. I need to add these leaves. So that one's going to go on top, this one's going to go under. This has a really nice country feel to it, don't you think? And the berries are gonna go on there like that, but I need mini dimensionals. I think that is 2 dimensionals stuck together, and I don't want that. So I'm going to do a dimensional on all 3 of these berries here. And I don't really need to do this, but I'm gonna anyway. Little dot of glue there, and then, because that was going to touch the pine cone right there. All right, so let's see about using these little guys. Oh, I'm down to 3 again, not 4. Oh, there it is on my lap. Okay. So maybe in there like that. And let's see which ones I used for that other card, because I really like the way that other card came out, and I don't really want to change it much. Here it is. So it looks like I used this one and this one with the larger leaves. So I'm going to set that aside, and that means I can use these skinnier ones on this card. So we'll just put that one in there like that. You could totally do without this. It's just that these were sitting on my desk as I was making my card, which is the way a lot of my cards come together, is, oh, there's something laying on my desk, so let's try it. And then I think I'll stick that one down in there, but I want to cut it off. So what is Amelia making you do today? Oh, isn't that cute? I love it. All right, did I stamp the inside of this one? I did nothing on the inside of this. So let's do the inside before we quit, and then we'll know exactly how long. Let's see, we're up to 17 minutes, so this might be a 20-minute card after all. Let me check the greetings. Oh, here it is. So I'm using just Merry Christmas on the outside. How about love and joy come to you, may it last the whole year through. Oh, this one doesn't have a sticker on it. No, I think I will go ahead and do that. All right. So I'm just trying to eyeball parallel with the bottom of the block. And then if I line the card up, and I can go parallel to any of the lines on the grid paper, then should work. Oh. Goodness sakes, goodness sakes. We'll see how that turns out. The buzz is back. Shoot. I don't have that other microphone plugged in. My computer is kind of like the fan is going. Is it that high-pitched buzz or a low buzz? All right, so I really messed up there, but I am gonna not worry about that today. You know what? I could try it again in this one, see if I can do better. And maybe not move my card before I stamp. This is a big stamp. A little hard for me to maneuver. There we go. So it's not that high-pitched buzz. That high-pitched buzz was awful. Okay, so if you like this card, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to wait until you give me a thumbs up till you see something else that you like better, that's okay. But thumbs ups are always greatly appreciated. All right, so I had another idea so I'm going to make this one next, but I have an idea to dress it up just a little bit. I would like to splatter this background paper before I start building the card. And I want to splatter it with early espresso, which I don't even know if I have an early espresso marker anymore. So I'm going to have to use soft suede. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love the splatters. Love them. All right. There. Good. But I believe I probably got splatters on my desk. Alrighty, so this is going to go on here. This is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's this same size as your card front. And I can go ahead and attach this because nothing else goes under it. So I wanted to cover the entire card front with the paper. I have a little tiny edge on both ends, but again, I'm gonna not let that bother me. So this piece is cut to, let me see if I can figure out the measurements. So it's cut to 1 7/8, 1 7/8, and then this is cut to 2 1/8. Yes, so 1 7/8, 2 1/8, so that it's a 1/4 inch larger, and then this is going to go across the front. However, I do want to emboss it with the Gingham embossing folder. Just to add a little something. So I'm grabbing plate 1 and the 2 acrylic plates to make that sandwich with this particular embossing folder. Alright, so this is going to get glued on here. And I need my silicone mat because of the holes in here. Oh, I have glue all over this silicone mat. And it looks like my white paper is a little bit longer than my early espresso. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and trim that off from the back. Voila. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this faux suede early espresso ribbon to the front. Totally not necessary for this card, but if you just want to add a little something. Ribbon is always nice to add. And it's kind of hard for me to make a card without ribbon, as you may know. Hello, Zena. It's so great to see you on a live. It's been a while. How is all your crafting going? So what time is it there? I think you're in like the UK or somewhere like that, aren't you? Alrighty. So that is ready to go on there. I'll go ahead and add that with some liquid glue. Because nothing else will go under it. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball that to the middle of the card front. And then I need to stamp that flower from Ringed with Nature. This is a super cool stamp set. It is in the mini right now, the mini that will end on January 3rd, I think. And it has a Merry Christmas stamp there. I need to do a full sheet of stamping with this stamp set. It's been begging me to do that. I've been hearing it call me. Do your stamps ever call you? So I'm using real red. $19.45, so $7.45. All right, cool. Oh, yeah, the Ringed with Nature set is so fun to work with. Alrighty. And this needs to be fussy cut. And there we go. So the last few pieces need to be die cut. So I need my layering circles, and I'm going to use, let's see, where have I put it? Stylish Shapes. So I'm going to use the largest circle from Stylish Shapes, which has squares and circles and then little flag shapes. And then in my layering circles, I have no idea which one it is, but I think that's the size I want. Let me just make sure, pull out this next biggest one. think it's this one. I'm just gonna make sure. Oh no, it wasn't this one. Let's see if it was this one. It was this one. So let me put this over here and grab the die cut machine again. I will be die cutting another piece of the gingham from that same set of paper. So this is like the solid ready looking one. Let's see, I want my magnet plate back. Oops, is that what I want? Yes, I want the stylish shape on there. And then I need a piece of white. Let's see, will that fit? That'll fit right there. So let me just trim that a bit. And get that cut. I don't know why I keep that so far away from me. It's on wheels. I can bring it really close. Ooh, that doesn't want to come up. There we go. That's trash. That's trash. Let me get these put away in the right spot. Because unfortunately, I've been known to lose dies. And it makes me super sad. So I'm trying. All right, so from this, it is the framed and festive, and this stamp set is currently part of the Fitting Florets suite that just became available this week. I love, love, love it. If you haven't seen my last couple of videos, you should probably take a look because the stamps are gorgeous, the paper is gorgeous, the die cuts are gorgeous. But I'm going to use May This Season Be Filled With, no, I'm going to use Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I lied. Have yourself. I better not sing it. Now it won't matter if I'm straight this time because it's a circle, right? So early espresso again. I was in an early espresso mood today. Love that. Love those fonts. All right. So I also have some mint macaron leaves stamped on there. I need to find my flower. And it's this little leaf from the set, same stamp set. And this is photopolymer, so I really need to use this, and I didn't on my flower, which is kind of why that, probably why that is a little bit uneven there. So this will go on here. Like wonder if I want a little one. I didn't do that earlier, but I think I'm going to put a little one sticking out right there too. Maybe there. Oh, why not? Because stamping is so fun. And these images are so beautiful. And that kind of looks pretty just by itself, doesn't it? All right, so ready to build. Close this up. So I put this circle on there a little bit over to the side, not centered, but letting the stitching show. Now I kind of want to decide on what's straight. There we go. This is going to get glued down right in the center. It probably won't touch the top of the card, so I'm just going to stick glue right in the middle. However, it probably will stick there. So let me just give that a moment to adhere. And now the flower on a dimensional. Here are my dimensionals hiding from me upside down. I'm just going to use one because I kind of need, let's see, there we go. Let those green leaves show as much as possible. And now these little guys. These little twigs. You could do this in gold. You could do these little leaves in gold. That would also look really pretty, I think. All right, almost done. I have these little gems, the red and green adhesive back gems that are in the mini catalog right now. I'm gonna put 3 of those right in the center of the flower, make it look more poinsettia-like, right? And then I wasn't completely convinced that I liked this little knot of extra ribbon there, but I think now that I see it without, I do like it, so I'm gonna add that. So just slide that ribbon right under there. Tie up a knot. Oh, looks like I need a manicure as well. This ribbon is pretty stiff, so I think that that little knot will stay on its own. I don't want it to be on top of the flower though. So let's get that under there. All right, almost done, almost done. And then we'll see, how are we doing on time? So 39 minutes. So they seem to each be about 20-minute cards. So I'm going to add with the pearlized enamel effects available in the mini right now, mini catalog. They come in red and white and gray. And they are so fun, but you do have to be patient while they dry and make sure that they don't get squished, because it is paint, although it's very thick paint. it will take a little bit of time, about a half hour. Yeah, they would be nice in gold, wouldn't they? It would make it a little fancier. I like the idea of kind of sticking with the country feel, but yeah, definitely could be changed up in lots of different ways. Dressed up in to suit your style, right? Okay, so what do you think? Splatters or no splatters? Splatters. Is the camera, can you probably need to zoom in a little more to see the splatters. So splatters or no splatters? I think I like the splatters. Yes, I was thinking the same thing when, yeah, gold ribbon too. Even gold paper back here. So lots of different ways you could change that up and dress it up. Yep, I agree, Zaina. Splatters for me too. Okay, so let me carefully set that aside. And then I will do, I think I can do a third card before I have to leave. And so I would like to do this one. I don't think that I have the paper cut for this one, so I will have to grab the paper trimmer. Let me clear out some space and do a little stamp cleaning so I have room. These three, this one, we don't need to be zoomed in for that to see every age mark, age spot on my hands, right? Oh, well, I suppose if I was really concerned about that, I wouldn't be doing craft videos, would I? Well, let's get that little leafy done. All right, I'm not going to be using these, so I'll go ahead and put these away. Again, that was Christmas to Remember for that first card. And then I think I am going to use one of these stamp sets, one of these stamps in this stamp set. So I'll go ahead and take that out. I'm going to use Noel. But I will put Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas away. So here's that stamp set again, framed and festive. And then in the Ringed with Nature, let's put this little leaf away and the flower. Blocks away. Alrighty, so paper. Let's see if I have a crumb cake card base here. Oh, it looks like I do, yay. So I need that. And then from the paper, I want to do this more solid red looking, and then also the garden green. That garden green stripe is so fun. I wonder if I have some in here though, instead of cutting into another piece. I don't see one. Oh, there's a piece down there, but it looks like it's narrow, too narrow. New piece. All right, so I am cutting this to 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5 for the garden green, and then for the real red piece, cutting that to 4. by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to cut another one to 5 1/4 because I also have that strip down the middle, which I probably could just do 2 green strips, but since I haven't measured that out or planned that, I'm just going to stick with this. And then this looks, let's see, how wide is that? Approximately, oh, it's like 1 1/2. So I'm going to cut this to 1 1/2. And that's 5 1/2 also. Sorry, 5 1/4. All right. So these pieces are going to layer up like that. And then I need a piece for the, to stamp the wreath on. And that should be cut to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. If I remember correctly from earlier. Yeah. Okay. Think that's all I need to cut. All right, and this one will have no die cutting, just stamping. How about that? But I am going to do the edges to make it look a little more country. And then I was thinking like some gold splatter, or maybe Wink of Stella splatter, or maybe even white splatter on those papers after I get them put together. But before I start working on the papers, I want to show you how I stamped this. So I'm pulling out now the Cottage wreaths stamp set, and I'm going to use this big fluffy wreath, and I'm going to use these little berries. I'm also going to use this little fern, or like fir branch, more of a Christmas tree type branch. So I need my garden green, and then I also want to do a little bit of blender ink, blender pen. So I need a block for this. Okay, so let me show you what I have done here. I won't be die cutting this, but I want to show you what I've done. So if you line your Stamp Up to match this image and make a little mark, I just use a Stampin' Blend, make a little mark right where that little arrow is in your, so you need to get it lined up with the image perfectly. Make a little mark with a Stampin' Blend where this little tiny arrow is in the case. See that little arrow right there? So that's where I made that mark. Then if you, when you are ready to die cut or ready to stamp and you know you're going to die cut, then if you just take your pencil and make a little mark on your paper where this should be stamped, then you'll know by the mark on your paper that that is where the die cut has a little tab sticking out of it, which I'll go ahead and show you. And it helps you line it up. So here's that little tab. And so if you put a mark on your pencil and then you line up your stamp, this is how you would cut it out. All of that lined up together. Okay? Handy little tip for how to use those stamps and dies together. All right, so garden green. And this is photopolymer, so let's get that. I'm going to try to get this centered. I didn't center it very well on my first one. All right, quickly come in with your Stampin' Blend and color in the dark leaves, and it just adds some interesting dimension to your image. Makes those really pop out. You have to work kind of fast because the drier the ink gets, the less it wants to be moved around with your blender pen. And if you do your blender pen too many times over your paper, it will sort of gum up. But this is not something you have to be really careful with. You could also go over these with Stampin' Blends or Stampin' Write markers. You could add, you know, a different color green. So again, I'm just trying to color in the darker leaves to make those pop. You definitely could color in all the leaves if you wanted, but I like the contrast that that gives. Let me zoom in so you can get a better view. I guess I should have been zoomed in when I was doing it, but isn't that cool? All right, so now what I'm going to do is stamp with this little guy here. Will he fit on there? He will. In the same color. And he's just kind of curved in the same way. I'll just stamp that around to add more texture and dimension to this wreath. It also helps make it look a little more Christmassy, doesn't it? What do you think? And now let's stamp those berries in real red. I love real red. So those fir branches made it around pretty evenly, so I could, oh, this is gonna have more berries on it than my first one. I am twisting my berries a little bit. So that they don't come out all the same way. All right, so let's see. Ready to do my embossing. So let me zoom that back out a little bit, just a little bit. And I need to give this a little once over. So I'm going to do this in gold. With that lovely Noel. Oh, all right, right? It's so great to know. And then how do you remember it all, right? But if you have the stamp set and you have the dies, when you see the notch and the little arrow on the packaging, you'll be like, hey, I know what those are for, and it'll come back to you. I promise. I promise. Okay. Let's get this out of the way before you turn your heat tool on. Oh, is it? Good, good, good. So, Zaina, are you a demonstrator? Are you peddling stamps to all your friends? There we go. All right, let's start doing these edges. I'm looking for my early espresso is what I wanted to do the edges with. And then all of these papers as well, including the card base. So on the original, I did stamp those berries all over this piece of red paper, but I wasn't particularly fond of it, so I think I'm not going to do it this time. I did want to splatter the card though with something. I haven't quite decided what. Maybe I'll just go with early espresso splatters. While I'm doing this, why don't you guys tell me what you think we should splatter with? Should we splatter with white? Should we splatter with Wink of Stella, which won't show up that much, but it will add a little sparkle? Or should we splatter with early espresso? So white, early espresso, or Wink of Stella. Oh, good. I'm glad that you have demo friends. Okay, there we go, getting there. And that, okay. Splatter white, but Stella on the berries. Okay, that is a good idea. All right. So I need to put all of these together because I want to splatter all of these. So glue. Lori says white. Oh wait, this needs to go down first because that red piece is cut to 5 1/4, but the green is cut to 5. So I need to have the green on first. Isn't this green paper fun? I didn't even realize that there was garden green in there. I was looking at this the other day. Oh, I was giving some of it away, and I was going through it and saw that garden green. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make Christmas cards with this paper. And thus the ideas were born for this video, which I hope you're enjoying. All right, so white splatters. I'm gonna get these out of the way, and let's do white splatters with craft ink. And do I want to do? I think I'm not going to do craft ink. Because it takes so long to dry. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of craft paint. So this is white craft paint. We all have a little bit of white craft paint somewhere in our stash, don't we? If you're, that was a lot of paint. I didn't really want that much. Can I put it back in? Should I try? All right, I'm stuck with it. I'm not going to make you watch me try to put that back in the bottle. If I were alone, crafting alone right now, I would definitely try that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little jar of water. It has to be thinned out to splatter, but not too much. I also want my splatter box. Oh, is my splatter box in here? Where's my splatter box? Oh, I don't know where my splatter box is. more water. Oh yeah. Looking good, looking good. You guys want to be zoomed in, don't you? Fun, fun. There we go. Use the brush to put it back in. Okay, I will use the brush to put it back in. I can wait though, because this is the end of the card. It's the end of the video. We're coming to the end, so I will do that in a moment. All right, so this needs to dry. It won't take long. I could use the, actually, what do I want? I want this. I could use the heat tool if it's not quite dry by the time I want to put this together. I'm wearing a black dress, and I wonder if I just got white paint all over my dress. All right, so I want this very shiny gold ribbon to hang out the bottom. I'm gonna add some tape to help me place that. A little loop at the top. All right, I want this to go this way. So a little bit at an angle there, and then loop it around and come back the other direction. There we go. Be right back. That's what BRB means. I finally figured out what BRB means. Oh, fireworks. Why are there fireworks right now? I mean, it's nighttime there, I know, but what's the event? Or is it just celebrating nighttime? All right, let's see if... Nope, we have a little bit of... Try those paint globs. And just lay this paper towel over to catch any of the rest of it that's wet. Okay. Ready for the card base. I think another thing that you should do with this paper, if you have it and you're afraid you're not going to use it up, is make bags out of it. There are all kinds of videos on how to make bags out of your DSP. And perhaps I'll do one, I don't know, but I think these would make really cute bags. Tags as well. I was going to use some of the gray gingham to make some Christmas tags. So again, maybe another video. We'll see. I have that job, you know. Gets in the way of my crafting. There we go. Isn't that cute? Cute, 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 cute. It's just so much fun to sit down and have a play and do some creating with Stampin' Up! Products that are so well made and so well coordinated. Really had a lovely time this morning making these for you, and I hope that you enjoyed them as well. Let me zoom out and show you all of them again. I would love to know which one is your favorite. Uh-oh, why is my sound on? There we go. All right, so what do you think? 5th of November, Guy Fawkes night. I don't know who Guy Fawkes is. So I think that you need to tell me who Guy Fawkes is. Okay. So let's put these in order, the order that I did them. And I'd love to know which one is your favorite. 1, 2, or 3. I know, they're all so cute, aren't they? That paper is so fun. I haven't been using it very much, but I think it's really fun paper. Got a weird shadow going. Okay. Oh, so now I've got my OBS Studio. It's going to give me fits and every now and then my streaming software just decides to shut down. Don't know why, so I apologize. I went blank there for a minute. And I am taking your advice, Lori, and putting the paint back in with the paintbrush. There. Saved. Probably a teaspoon. The pine cones. Okay, cool. All right, it's been fun. Thanks for crafting with me or hanging out with me while I crafted. And you know, we probably should have put splatters on that one too, shouldn't we have? Okay, next time, live and learn. You guys can make it all splattery everywhere. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, happy stamping!